Slow and steady wins the race. We are going to deep dive and dissect and find out where you need to step forward and step back so that we can step out of conflict. Discernment is optimal and needed in whatever experience that you're having right now. And we often don't know how to translate what discernment. Discernment is literally doing what you're doing because it's the right thing to do in the right moment. There is no right or wrong, up or down, left or right. It's just like, let's say you walk into a room and there's just pure chaos and nobody knows what's going on, but you know how to target your energy because you are discerned. That means you know what to prioritize. This is what makes you a leader. This is why you stand in a leadership position, is because you naturally have that embodiment of discernment. All of a sudden, everybody regulates, they calm down, and they know who to keep their eye on because you are so steady. You're not moving fast. You're just going with the flow and naturally, organically solving the problems of the world, right? And so really it's like flow state, the trance state, transcendence. You have the capability of doing that. That's one of your gifts. That's why you're here. That's why you've encountered this particular reading, because you are kind of, who am I? What do I influence? What do I do? Well, here we are. I'm going to go ahead and pull an archetype, like an elder card. So lady, so enjoy growth and reap rewards, right? Like if you don't know that your spirit is naturally, organically shifting and mutating and adapting and flexible and vulnerable and innocent, if you don't know you're resonating at that earthly, nurturing, attentive energy, it's sort of hard to like harness it. So let's say, for instance, you've been doing all the things that you've been doing your whole life, but you've never actually connected to it or been able to see it on your own. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Bobby. I'm a twin flame facilitator, Reiki practitioner, and psychic medium. A facilitator is somebody that facilitates the reflection or the mirror that we require in order to see ourselves. So we see ourselves through healthy partnerships with which many of us have never had or seen or been a part of. So that's what a reader does, is it facilitates that twin flame mirror reflection that is required for growth. And so when you come here, everything I just read about the parable of the drowning man, and he's the area is flooding, and a boat comes by and offers to save the guy, and he said, "No, I'm waiting for God." And so they leave. Another boat comes by and says, "This is it. We can take you to solid ground." And he's like, "No, I'm waiting for God." And then the next thing that comes by is a helicopter, and they drop a rope and they're like, "Come on, this is your last chance." And he's like, "No, I'm waiting for God." And the guy ends up drowning, and he gets to heaven and he says, "God, why didn't you save me?" And he's like, I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter, and you said no to all of them. And so now here we are. So remember, everything, even in the most mundane, we're always looking for something dramatic. We're looking for something huge. But God, your creator, your source, shows up in music. It shows up in the readings that are coming through. It shows up in the people that you interact with. It shows up in the energy that you're participating in on a daily. It's seamless. Your source, there's no disconnect. It is constant. And so the discernment is learning how to take one thing, like this one item has a yin and a yang, has a dark and a light, has a masculine and a feminine. The Hermetic principles comes to mind, something that will help your brain to sort of discern. But everything has a dark and a light. So if I can be sad, I can also be happy. I'm going to be happy. If I can go outside, I can also go inside. If I can go up, that also means I can come down. So it's really getting the two hemispheres to start merging and working together as a team. And also remember the subconscious mind to tap into that repetition, 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 repetition. That's why we talk about mantras, repeating words, why we talk about repeating patterns. The more you consciously pay attention to patterns, then your subconscious mind starts to pull in those frequencies. It's like the ocean of motion is in your subconscious, and your subconscious is leading the way. But if you're only in your conscious mind, it's like nothing ever works because there's no magnetism. It's like you're just vibrating with no frequency. So by tapping into your subconscious mind, you're now starting to put out frequency. That frequency is the reciprocity. It starts coming through just so beautifully. So, and then I also got Stargazer. Set your sights higher. Set your sights higher. Okay, we're going to look at, I don't know why I just picked up this deck. Are you in love? Are you falling in love? Is there a love on your mind? Maybe take a moment to think about that. I just pulled the love deck here. So I have several decks sitting in front of me. I know you can't see them, but I just allow Spirit to sort of guide my hand into whatever deck. These are all my favoriteest decks. So this one popped out. You don't know what you don't know until you know. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. Yes, please. Yes, please. So far, what I'm getting here is that Mother Earth is supporting you. And I like how the apple, have you ever known, like, go get an apple and cut it open. There's a star right in the middle of that. And then the Stargazer card came up. And so even though I haven't pulled an archetype out of the major arcana in the Rider-Waite deck, I can already say that you are standing in that starship position. You're reprogramming your Merkaba star. You're diving deeper into your subconscious mind, and things are starting to look up for you. I'm going to go ahead and pull another one from there. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And I'm pulling that in the present moment as well. And then it says trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. I love that. Right? Again, you are the leadership. So leadership, the starship, the Merkaba star. So you are like in your own container. And listen, I work with clients all the time, and when they come to me, it's like their environment is very mundane, which means they're in an environment where people just don't believe in the magic. They've never tapped into that quantum field. They've never experienced the magic, but you're like the mystic amongst the many. And being the mystic amongst the many suppresses you, like shuts you down. Like all of a sudden life is just so boring and not even needed. Like you don't even want to be there. You can have a lot of experiences where you're like, I just want to die, because all of your magic, all of your abilities, all of your foresight, all of your radical vision, all of that is just like suppressed because nobody thinks anything is possible, right? But you're like, anything is possible. But people just spend all their time trying to prove you wrong. And because you haven't created a connection, a healthy one, potentially, with a facilitator is a partner that honors you, loves you. It could be a friend, it could be a mom, it could be dad, it could be somebody in your life that just amplifies you, inspires you. I've noticed on my journey that I've encountered a lot of individuals that don't have that. And I just was that. I was that. So it was easy for me to be that. And then amplify that, because once you become that core authentic frequency, that raw embodiment of who you are as that mystic, people follow you. You're the one that's not crazy. But before you step into the embodiment of that, everybody's like, you're crazy. You're just crazy. And so I was like, you know what? Fine. I want to be crazy because my craziness is so much more fun than what you're doing. Seriously. So really think about that. It's good to be crazy. Be crazy. This life, you have this span of life, however long, 1 to 100 years, and it's yours. It is your life. It was given to you. I'm not piggyback riding on anybody's back. I am me, you, because you are so glorious and so amazing and so cute and so all of this stuff. I feel like I'm talking to your inner child today, but let's see what's going on with karma. So step into the divine timing. What's meant for you won't pass you by. Trust the delays. They're aligning your path. Okay. So going back to the parable that we just talked about. So the source is sending you information. The source is sending you opportunity. So at this point, I would encourage you to say yes to everything, even if it doesn't make sense. Say yes. Say yes. You are, I know this card just literally sitting there in front of me. You are alive, so take your life and enjoy it. You're not in a hurry. There's no urgency. You were born with the right to be happy, to love, and to share your love. Just to be, to take a risk and enjoy your life is all that matters, right? Who's that? Jim Rohn. I love Jim Rohn. He always says, life is risky. Being born into this world is risky. Breathing is risky. I love that. He just proclaims that everything you do is risky. Everything. You never know. You don't know what you don't know until you know. You don't know until you know. Okay, let's go ahead and pull a twin flame card so we can see what you are currently alchemizing. Remember, your body is like a flower. A flower, a grain of wheat, a stick of grass. You are a part of nature, and your body is constantly alchemizing and adjusting to the atmospheric energy. So it is important. Oh my gosh. Twin flame, everything is possible. Isn't that wild? We were just saying that. You can't make this stuff up. Cannot make this stuff up. So your conscious, subconscious are creating a merge. And so it's good to see how that when it starts to merge, messages are fast, and clear. Very, very clear. Like so clear you can't get past it. It's too clear. You can go into denial though when it's that clear. So be careful of sabotage. Like I remember when the messages started becoming so clear, I was like, who is here? Who is watching me? I was like, oh my gosh. Like the messages were like communicating directly with spirit. Like I was like, okay, I gotcha. So when the twin flame card appears, it indicates that you are in alignment with your heart and that you are preparing to reunite with the divine counterpart. I'm telling you, I pulled this out, attraction. So you are magnetically attracting your tribe, your comrades, those people, the 1% that vibrates at your frequency. You demonstrate both strength and vulnerability. I would love to be a part of that 1%. right? Because every person you encounter right now is part of your team and helping you elevate and amplify your energy. Even if it's just this one time that I show up on your path, I'm honored to be here. Mwah. Okay, so you have the ability to embrace contrast and duality and let go of your resistance quickly. Like I said, quick, quick, quick. Like shift, dark, light. You have both, so you can shift any second because you easily find neutrality within your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Focus on accepting all of yourself that creates alignment with all that is, making everything possible. Finding the beauty within your twin flame journey reveals unconditional love for your twin flame. As you see the gift that they have given you by helping you find real love for yourself. Stay open to everything and attached to nothing. This validates your faith in achieving the ultimate relationship you deserve. The power of two is greater than one, and you were designed to align with someone on the same soul frequency. So just hold space for this divine timing. Remember, it's like giving me chills. So just hold space for this, but don't worry, wonder, or wait. Keep showing up as the love you are every day, and you will soon experience the great love you have found with your beloved. Okay, that's why I pulled the love card. So there is somebody coming in. We don't know. We don't know if it's intimate. I think every relationship you encounter is an intimate relationship, but this is an individual coming into your experience. It could be me, right? Like we're talking about it. Here I am amplifying and reminding you of who you are, the mystic. You are a mystic or a Merlin, man or woman, don't know, masculine, feminine, mystic or a Merlin, and you carry the magic within you. So we want to remember, you can't look outside yourself when you're the only mystic among the many. I couldn't. I had to just harness my own, we all speak a different language. I'm not trying to understand I'm not trying to speak your same language, but I'm speaking, like when two people come together and speak a different language and then the language harmonizes. It's just beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. But again, that can only happen when we are open to navigating the rawness of who we are. Okay, so we've got good stuff here. Okay. This is the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle. The Wisdom of Avalon. Okay. Burden. I pulled the burden card. Okay, so this is probably something that you are releasing. It's also the number 43. So the number 7. What burdens are you carrying on this part of the journey? Are you transporting those of others out of generosity or codependency? Discernment, that's part of discernment. Is this burden too heavy that it slows you down? Nothing can slow you down or hold you back. That's not possible. This marker asks you to stop and look at your responsibilities, your commitments, and all that you bring with you on your journey. You are clinging to an unhealthy relationship. Are you clinging to an unhealthy relationship out of fear? These are great questions. Are you taking on the burden of others to prevent them from getting hurt? Do you know that this enables others to avoid learning their life lessons and doesn't really help at all? I would play that back and re-listen to it for sure. Drawing this marker encourages you to release others to their own path. It may also be a time for you to ask if you're helping because you like being needed. If the answer is yes, then the message is truly to let go of this burden. For it's born of self-centeredness. Release the burden of others to the divine. They also have their own angels and guides, just as you do. Trust in the divine plan for all. On the sacred path to Avalon, you must be aware that you pack all the essential wisdom tools you will need to chart your course. Integrity, kindness, compassion, discernment, discretion, faith, forgiveness, truth, and love are all but some of them. Once your tools are counted, see if the rest of what you're hanging on to is appropriate. This is the time to leave behind any unnecessary burdens and to know you have the strength to carry what is yours. I feel like you're like standing at heaven's door and you're carrying a suitcase, and the angel at the door is like, hey, whatever's in that suitcase, you're going to be taking with you into the next life. So I'm going to give you a minute to open your suitcase and decide whether you really want to take that stuff with you, because you're not going to remember anything from this lifetime. You're not going to, the only thing we remember is our Akashic. We remember typically our positions. We also remember like the energy of our Akashic, right? The memories that come in to align us on our path. That's what that is. But we can also take a mom we didn't want to be, like we don't want anymore. I know that sounds aggressive, but sometimes when we have a burden with somebody, it's because we're just cycling lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime in the same, like you were your mom and your mom was you, and it's just like a cycle that keeps going. So the way that we release ourselves from that cycle is, again, the Know Thyself journey. You can find a link in my bio, but we go back and we regard it all, we honor it all, we love it all, we forgive it all. We see the light in the dark. We see all of the love and release the entanglement of it, because again, you were never responsible for any of you. You aren't responsible for your mom. You aren't responsible for your dad. You aren't responsible for your children. If you take their responsibility, you enable their experience. So it's all about going back and releasing the burden of where you think that you are supposed to be. You aren't the end all be all. It's not all about you when it comes to their life. You are all about you when it comes to your life. You are the one that co-creates your life. So stand firmly in that position. So, okay, well, it's been an honor to do this reading for you. Just to give you a recap, you are stepping free of the burden of your life. You are the mystic or Merlin, and within your life, you carry the magic. You are the earthly nurturer. You are adaptable. You know how to shift. The Stargazer, your Merkaba star, is being reprogrammed. There is somebody coming in, so be on the lookout for miracles for sure. But this is your life, and you're just alive. Just alive, and embracing the very moment that you stand in. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.